Although Assetto Corsa is stuffed like a Christmas turkey when it comes to road cars and hypercars, it is somewhat lacking in the super sexy trouser exploding single-seater modern formula category. Fortunately, mod teams have stood up, proud, strong, and delivered some absolutely amazing formula cars. The Formula Renault 3.5 2014 season mod by Virtua Simulazioni happens to be one of those vehicles. And in this case, you're going to need a carbon fibre belt to keep your trousers on, because this vehicle is in the category of holy shit, this is f***ing amazing. And it's go, go, go as the lights go out. No, that's not a brick that's just fallen on the accelerator, that's my foot. Fortunately, this car's not as snappy and aggressive as some of the faster Formula vehicles for Assetto Corsa, but it does have a really nice band of power that your foot's going to be itching to dance over to get the maximum amount of grip down to hopefully get some place at the start of the race. In this case, we found ourselves in a bit of a sandwich. We're the butter, there's the bread either side of us. Let's hope it's high quality bread, but as you can see, the AI are actually handling this really well, and with this mod, the AI seems to put up a really good fight, even on ridiculously tight circuits like Circuit Park Zandvoort. The first time you jump into this car, the most noticeable aspect is going to be how good the force feedback feels. Now in general, I really like the force feedback with most of the cars in Assetto Corsa, but in my opinion there's definitely some vehicles that are better than the others, and this one is pretty much up there with the best. Even with the antique Logitech G25, you can feel pretty much everything that you need to know to make sure that you're in control of the vehicle. Coming around these corners here, you can see the car's pretty much stuck to the road. It's very stable, but again, there's that certain angle that if you go past it, the back end starts coming around. And this car is sort of really got a bit of trickery behind it, because you'll go in thinking you're pretty safe, but go just over it and it will start sliding very aggressively, at which point you're going to have to twist your hands faster than a Concorde landing, or you're going to look like Tony Hawk's doing a 720. Now fortunately, as I say, this vehicle does have a lot of ply over the limit. It's a really weird balance between it having the slack there, and it does let you get away with a lot, but it kind of makes you want to play with that slack. So although in some ways it's safer, in other ways it's a lot more dangerous, because you're just going to be wanting to mess around with the vehicle. And to me, that's what makes a simulated car exciting. Every single corner and lap with this car, you're going to be thinking, I could have slid a little bit less, I could have got a slightly better angle on that, I could have done that slightly faster, let's just do one more lap. Now, talking to other friends of mine that happen to play Assetto Corsa and generally despise Formula vehicles, they've tried this and they agree it's a bloody fantastic mod, because it really seems to bridge the gap between the top-end Formula cars that really require a degree in sim racing to get anything out of them, and your more sort of tame, laid-back, holiday on the beach road cars. You can jump into this as anyone that likes simulated vehicles and just simply have an absolute blast. People that like fast cars aren't going to die of old age to complete one lap, and people that like slow cars aren't going to simply drive off into a wall like Robert Kubica. Looking at the graphics of the vehicle, the cockpit looks absolutely stunning, along with the outside mesh of the vehicle. It's another car that's just, I mean, the details mind-boggling. This could have been released in the game and, you know, you wouldn't notice any difference. This could have been put in any driving simulator and you'd think, oh, that's part of the game. It's just phenomenal work. The quality is unbelievable. The steering wheel, again, just look at the detail on it. Again, I need to try this with the Oculus Rift because my face is going to melt. It just draws you straight in. I really like as well, some mod cars take advantage of the sort of lighting effect on the steering wheel, where you get a little bit of bloom around the LEDs that light up, and it makes it clearer as to when you need to change gear. And again, it just really draws you into it. It's just, graphics aren't the most important thing, but when you've got the details there, you can't help but really appreciate it. And the guys that have done the actual 3D modelling on this have done an absolutely phenomenal job. The mod also comes bundled with the entirety of the 2014 Formula Renault 3.5 season skins, which really helps in the single player and if you're playing multiplayer, just to make it feel like you're in an actual race with other real vehicles, rather than being in a race where it looks like some god has pressed Control C on your car and then spammed Control V to duplicate it across the grid. Moving on to the sounds, well, again, it's hard to say anything negative because everything about this car is pretty damn good. The engine noise, the splutter of the exhaust pipe, the The sound it makes, which is a default sound when you drive into the rear of someone, all of it is top notch. Pretty much like a fly travelling too close to a Hoover. It simply just sucks you right in and immerses you into the car. Also, I think what's really nice is the engine tone is clear enough to be able to quite precisely tell what RPM you're in. So when you're being a bit focal and not looking at your dashboard, you can just from the sound tell if you need to change gear or just feel confident as to how much power you're putting down from the engine note alone. All said and done, it's just an absolutely fantastic simulated car to drive. As you'll see by the Mini-Me in the corner of the video, I'm leaning into the corners. I don't know why, it doesn't have any effect. I'm not even wearing the Oculus Rift, but it seems like the right thing to do. And really, that's the mark of a high-quality simulated car. As we come to the downhill sweeping corners on this track, you see how the car's glued to the road, but riding over the bumps, you have to come off the accelerator a bit. The front's moving around a bit, the back's moving around a bit. You just have to knock it into this corner. Obviously, you can take this a lot faster. I think this is my first real go with this vehicle. Well, that's going to be my excuse for this video anyway. But we're coming up to the final lap as we power on through these last windy corners. Just getting the power on there. Not having to counter steer, just balancing the accelerator. You do, as I say, have to watch out with the accelerator. There's this really tight band of power where you will start to slip out, and there you go, a full-on drift for the crowd there. We get 50 bonus points and some money thrown at us by an attractive woman. Doesn't get you a faster lap time though. Final corner, squeezing around here. I mean, imagine doing this in real life. You're going to be pushed against the side of the vehicle. Whoa! Don't put your wheels on the inside of the corner or that will happen. And there we go, the final lap of this 5-lap sprint race. We lose a place up the inside. As I say, we're going very slow. The AI is set to 95% and the track grip was on about 98, which I think, to me, that's a nice amount of grip. It keeps things exciting. It stops the vehicles being completely planted as if you've super glued the tyres. And I think the tyres are starting to wear out a little bit once you get to about the 4th lap, so you do have to watch out on the brakes, be slightly more careful. Down the sweeping corners, a bit of smoke, tyre smoke from the guy in front as we go through that, breathing the fumes, glorious rubber into the lungs. I seem to have got even slower, we've totally lost control. This is why I'm not a professional race driver. Down to the right, followed by a tight left. You see the little sign telling you which corner's coming up. If you don't know the layout of this track in this car, then you're probably in trouble. That sign's probably for when they do track days and people are driving their little Mini Coopers around and they don't know what they're doing. Again, missing the brake point there, going wide, but the car allowing you to get away with it. And the last 2 corners, and then that's pretty much it, done. But as I say, absolutely incredible mod. Download it right away. I put a download link in the video description. Check out the mod team's website because their website is really slick. And finally, some news. We've got a gamermuscle.com Assetto Corsa server. Just do a search for gamermuscle.com and it'll come up on the server list. And we're running this mod in a sprint race format, and we'll be on there 9 PM British summertime tonight, so we'll see you there. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to share it with your friends, like it, and subscribe to the channel by clicking the giant subscribe button. I'll see you in our next video. Goodbye.